Mic check. Devoted to Jamesy boy. Boygenius. We got a 6-track debut EP ahead of us today. From what I'm aware, simply entitled Boygenius. Am I aware of this band? It was recommended on the Patreon. I've not listened to this band. Am I aware of them? I'm aware of the name. Okay. I'm expecting quirky, youthful, indie pop music. I like Girl in Red. I like Beach Bunny. I like that frequency, that feminine energy driven social commentary and emotive portrayal. Okay, I've never listened to them. Am I looking forward to listening to them? Yeah, actually, because if you've joined me on this channel, you know, as of recent, you would know that I don't mind that style of music. I'm quite a big fan of the niche genre twee pop, all right, which shares a lot in common with acts such as this, a lot in common with power pop, a lot in common with acts like the Smiths, which oddly, indirectly, you know, shares a component of these acts, you know, the poetic and indie-esque outsider value. Now, I could be completely wrong with what I've just said. This band could sound like Napalm Death. There's only one way to find out. This first song is entitled Bite the Hand. Yes, let's go.
Too far away, I can't see you. The light is in my face.
1.8 million views.
I wouldn't if I could.
Someone says, thank you, IKEA, for introducing me to this song. Okay. Okay. Debut EP. 1.8 million views on the first track. Synced to IKEA. I'm going to do some background check. Give me one moment. Okay, so I just had a little dig. To put it plain and simple, I googled boygenius industry plan. Alright, if you've never heard that term before, it's something you should clue yourself up on. Being around musicians my entire life, I know when something's too good to be true. Now, I've not come across too much information other than the fact, well, I came across another band. Anybody heard of the Last Dinner Party? People were putting them 2 and 2, just like a Last Dinner Party industry plants like Boygenius and blah blah. But this band is a super group per se, including someone I do know, Phoebe Bridgers. Why do I know her? Because of branding. I quite simply know her because around the time I seen her getting posted, she wore like a skeleton outfit, and that's as much as I know. So we'll leave that there. But between you and me, people, if your first EP has like 1.8 million views and like being synced to big corporate Goliaths like IKEA, it, as a consumer, it's always too good to be true. It doesn't work like that for your average independent artist, honestly. It does not. It does not. I've been there, done that, come up with a lot of people, known a lot of people who have picked up and signed to mainstream labels and are blowing up festivals to this day, but, you know, I'm going to leave that one there. That's open for discussion. That's open for discussion.
I can't love you how you want me to. I can't love you how you want me to. I can't love you.
Did Phoebe Bridgers, Lucy Dacus and Julian Baker, how much momentum were they establishing prior to this act when they came together? Or did they come from this act? Because this was 5 years ago. Somebody want to fill me in? Can you fill me in? Beggars Group Digital. 2018 Matador Records. One moment. Just had a little dig at Matador Records. It's a label I'm somewhat familiar with. I did have a moment in my life where I sort of dug deep into these labels, 4AD and Beggars Group and so forth. Yeah, they're listed as independent, so this album is independent. Don't get me wrong, it is a large label. You know, this isn't a label to be laughed at. But I like bands like this, these indie adjacent bands where it gives food for thought. Because if we were listening to flipping Guns N' Roses, it's like, all right, they're mainstream and they got signed and they've signed the contract and this and that. But acts that are like on their debut EP, for me, not only as a musician but as a fan of the internal works, and there's a bit of a conspiracy theorist, you know, a bit of a critical thinker, I like to sort of piece up an idea of what is going on behind the scenes, right? It is what it is.
Here's the best part. Still for you. But you want more. I can't give to you.
6 publishers credited here.
While my hands are tied. I can't love you how you want me to. I can't love you how you want me to. I can't love you how you want me to. Who do you think you are? Who do you think I am? What do you want to say? What do you think will change? Maybe I'm afraid of you. Maybe I'm afraid of you. Like the hand that feeds me. Like the hand. Like the hand that needs me. Like the hand. I can't love you how you want me to. I can't love you. I can't love you. I can't love you how you want me to. I can't love you. I can't love you. I can't love you how you want me to. I can't love you. I can't love you. I can't love you how you want me to. I can't love you how you want me to.
Ethereal, very good sound, very good production.
I can't love you how you want me to.
Well spaced out, well produced, great development and build, good writing. Let's have a look at the credits here once again. We've got associated performer and producer Julian Baker, Lucy Dacus, Phoebe Bridges, engineers Joseph Lodge, composer Julian Baker, Lucy Dacus and Phoebe Bridges. All right, composer doesn't necessarily mean songwriter, but I assume that's what it implies. I've got no doubt that they've written the songs, by the way, because, you know, I'm going to cast judgment. These dudes look like they can write a decent song. I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes you just see an artist and you see the persona and the overcompensation of the glitz and glamour, and you're just like, you don't even write that material. That's not you. You're just an image. But this band seems, you know, the type to compose and put together a piece. So we've got Me and My Dog coming up next, yeah? See you there. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. boygenius is who we're listening to. We're having a great old discussion on this one. Great artists create good substance for conversing. All right, whether it's good or bad, good artists do so, good projects do so. That's my personal opinion. I think you can hate the hell out of an artist, but as long as it engages with you emotionally and creates some form of connection, it allows you to feel alive. Isn't that a beautiful thing? As opposed to just like background music, as opposed to you working in a warehouse with Ed Sheeran playing in the background, just saying some dumb shit, some basic shit. No disrespect to Ed Sheeran, but in this day and age, he just sells out, doesn't he? And I don't even mean to disrespect warehouse workers either. I was actually projecting myself on an earlier version of me there when I came to the conclusion that the music they were playing via the radio in this environment was quite simply low frequency, dumbing, no thought provoking slop. Me and My Dog is track number 2. Let's jump in. Shout out to James who recommended this. James, it's White Girl Wednesday today, people. I'll tell you that. Yo, if any ladies come across this, give some respect to the fellas. The fellas are having me listening to Beach Bunny. The fellas are having me listen to Boy Genius. The fellas are having me listen to Emil and the Sniffers and all this and that. Put some respect on the fellas, yeah? Do you know what I mean? Because this is some white girl music we're listening to right now. This is some white girl music. I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
We had a great day.
The actions, I absolutely cover the instruments with reverb. This is a very reverberated, spacious environment. Is there no rhythm? Is there no beat? Is there no percussive elements to the act?
And you had a bad dream, and we got no sleep, 'cause we were kissing.
James, I know you're getting heartbroken to this one. You gotta get the bottle out. You gotta get the bottle out. Reminiscing back to the good old days, yeah?
I had a fever until I met you. Now you make me cool, but sometimes I
There's 3 musicians credited on this who aren't the girls who are fronting the band, but 3 additional girls as the musician. This is pure girl power, this.
still do something embarrassing.
Little banjo action, come on now.
I never said I'd be alright. Just thought I could hold myself together.
There's a little bit of a country twang.
Couldn't breathe, I went outside. Don't know I thought it'd be any better. But I'm fine now. It doesn't matter. I didn't wanna be this guy. I cried at your show with the teenagers. Tell your friend I'll be alright. In the morning it won't matter. I wanna be emaciated. I wanna hear one song without thinking of you. I wish I was on a space.
Bet you didn't know all of these songs are written about me. I know it's hard to believe. Songs of heartbreak and turmoil and emotional distraught. I couldn't help it, people. I was just being myself. I can't help being this charming. All these songs are about me, you know.
Just me and my dog in an impossible view. I dream about it. And I wake up
These girls aren't playing by the rules, eh? They take a song and they develop it and they come out of the song. They're not sticking to the traditional structure. Slow develop, barren intro, move on, introduce the distortion, introduce the airy fairy stuff, develop, and get us to the end. Souvenir coming up next, yeah? Yes, now, bless now, people. Don't forget to rest now. Des Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. Boy, Genius is the act. Are we pitting tonight? Bro, if you want to get kicked out of the venue, we can be King of the Pit. No problem at all. But we are getting kicked out of the venue. We're probably getting posted on Instagram. We're getting outed for being violent at events, alright? So track number 3 is Souvenir on the debut EP. It was recommended by my good friend James. Thank you, James, for plugging us onto this via the old Patreon. Now, James has also recommended I check out some live stuff of theirs. That stuff is hosted on a platform that is a little bit debatable as to whether I can put it on YouTube. So if you want to access that, you're going to have to go on the Patreon to find that, because that's the only place I'm going to put that. All right. But this is Souvenir, track number 3. 333 is the, well, it's 332 actually, but where you look depends on how long this is. I was going to talk about 333 and track 3 and the power of 3 and triangulation, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to talk about the higher providence and the deity and so on and so forth. We're not going to get into the sacred geometry. Don't worry, people, don't worry. I am a boy genius, don't get it twisted. I am autistic, all right? Sounds like a double bass.
Stay out of your nightmares. See, I was in your dream last night. Always end up dying. You said because of course I did.
It is a bit down in the dumps. It is a little bit melancholy. It is a little bit whimsical. But this is different to what I initially expected. I thought this would be an indie record. I thought this would be an indie band. I thought this would be a quirkier act. I don't say that to detract what I'm here. I say that to emphasize what I'm going to say. This is singer-songwriter. This is singer-songwriter as heck. This isn't edgy. There's no edge to this. I thought there'd be an indie edge. But this is clean singer-songwriter music. This is pick up an acoustic guitar, play and talk about your boy troubles music. I'm going to say it once and I'll say it again. I said at the start of this. It's not by chance that they blew up. There's a machine behind this. I spent the best part of 2 to 3 years daily performing on circuits with acts that sounded like this, with artists that sounded like this. And yes, you can get picked up given, you know, the right person at the right time, or you can get picked up given that you have something there to put you in position. This music industry isn't by chance. People don't just blow up as artists. It doesn't really work like that. It's very, 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 very limited that it works like that. Most of these artists that are put before you have been, you know, pre-selected per se. So I'd like to know a little bit more about the act. I'd like to know a little bit more about the artist. I'd like to know a little more about the history. The music's good. I mean, the thing is, right, we can all talk about industry plants and we can talk about people getting put here, there and everywhere. But the bottom line is the people still have to like the band. I mean, think of someone, you know. I don't know. You pick and choose whomever you want who have been put before you in the mainstream. Like, where the hell did they come from? And we can even talk about Hollywood. I mean, that guy from The Last of Us or whatever it's called. My missus flipping adores the guy. Like, thinks he's the sexiest man on planet Earth. Pedro, whatever his name is. But when you see what people comment about Pedro, they're just like, where the hell did this guy come from? He just came out of nowhere. But he's a good, talented individual. He's a good-looking person. He plays the part. And that's what the people want. They want good quality, connective, not authentic as far as industry is concerned, as far as business is concerned, but authentic as far as the message they can, you know, communicate to the audience. I'm casting incredible judgment, right? But the bottom line is what I'm saying is it's very, very rare that your first project, you're getting 1 million views. And I know this stems from these artists being independently external to this, but even to that degree, it's still crazy, you know? It's still crazy. I don't know much about Phoebe Bridgers. That's the only name of the three I know. And I know that she had a relatively successful run a few years back. That's the first and the last time I heard of this lady, when she was wearing that skeleton outfit. So maybe she was garnering tens, if not hundreds of millions of views on that project, and they've seeped into this boygenius thing, which would make more sense, you know? This is spurred on a fascination to this act, so if anybody wants to comment and engage, please, please, please do so.
Work a midnight surgery when you cut a hole into my skull. Do you hate what you see?
My favourite industry plant is Ice Spice, because she got that big old booty. That's my... Come on now. My favourite performer is Ice Spice. My favourite Instagram artist is Ice Spice. A good character who's like alongside, well, Ozzy's dead now. Ozzy died today, people, but he was at like Ozzy's last event singing with him. Can you believe it? Out of everyone, they chose this guy to like sing one of his songs and stuff like this and whatever. And well, I don't know, he might have sung someone else's song, but he definitely backstage with Ozzy and whatnot. And he's done this, that and that, and he came up off of, well, supposedly, I didn't pay attention to him. I saw him wearing a dress and all of this stuff, and I thought, all right, I can see why they're putting him out in the mainstream. And he comes close to where we're based here, but supposedly like came off of claiming, you know, working class culture and this and that. He's from Doncaster, from what I'm aware. A guy called Youngblood. That is an industry plant. Youngblood is an industry plant. He was on BBC Radio 1 like all the time when I was knocking around a few years back listening to the radio. Why the hell not? Dua Lipa was on the radio back in then. What tunes did she have out? Levitate. Hallucinate. Fucking banger. Yeah, I love them tunes. Good time to be around then. And he was all over the radio. It's like, how'd you get there? You don't get there by chance. Not only that, but I'm into punk rock music, people. You know what I think. That was Souvenir brought up. Great room for discussion. What can be said? I'm going to be real with you. It's a well-produced project. It's good, but in relation to what I'm discussing, as far as me being on a circuit and hearing a lot of songwriter acts, hearing a lot of, you know, word and guitar and transcendental developed songs, this is nothing unlike the general music you get off of a Spotify cool pop playlist, you know, acoustic pop playlist. It's of a quality to be in that top tier, high degree marketable product, and I appreciate it for such. It showcases a great quality, but it fits within the safe and sound borders of being like a bit of a textbook project. I don't know. You tell me. We got Stay Down coming up next, yeah? Say you, say me. Ba-da-da-da-da. Stay Down is track numero 4 of 6 on boygenius's debut EP. Did you know that the title of the band, Boygenius, was actually about me? They were influenced by me and my big brain. That's why I wear glasses, because my brain's so big it pushes my eyes out of my head, so I need to wear glasses to keep them in. And these delightful women said, you know what, that's perfect influence to start an act. Stay Down is track number 4. Let's go. Shout out to James, who recommended us on the Patreon. One love, James, my man. James, come on now. I know you're an emotional guy. James, I know you're like a shot of whiskey and a moment to reminisce. And if you don't, now's your time, my mate. Most definitely. James, have you ever listened to the act Wet Leg before? They had a couple of decent tunes. I get behind that act. Wet Leg. They're industry plants. We're talking industry plants tonight, people. Wet Leg. Flipping industry plants. Most definitely. I say definitely. I don't mean that. It's a joke. I don't know whether they are or aren't, but they have the potential of being. But I really like the music.
Wasn't a fighter, somebody told me I had better learn to lean into the punch, so it don't hurt as bad when they leave. There you were, turning your cheek. I look at you and you look at a screen. I'm in the backseat of my body. I'm just staring my life in a video game. Similar acts in a different name. It's a slow down. So would you teach me I'm the villain? Aren't I the one constantly repenting for a difficult mind? Push me down into the water like a sinner, roll me under, and I'll never come up again. I'll just stay down.
I'm waiting for that drum beat to come in. 2, 3, 4. Oh! 1, 2, 3, 4. We're building, man. Bum 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 bum. It has to come. It has to come. It has to come. Three, 4. I'll allow a tom beat. I wanted a bit of cymbal. I wanted a bit of cymbal. Come on now. Thank you. Wow, I've got some great things to say after this fades. I got some great things to say when this fades. I got some great things to say. I got some great things to say. So this has been the aim of the game since the start of the record, right? Like, these dudes don't write pop songs as in your A, B, A, B, C, B, in and out. And this, James, thank you for this recommendation, because these sort of acts I can get in my forte, and that is songwriting and structuring songs. And I'm so dialed in, and I've internalized what it is to write a song and convey a song to such a fine degree that I just adore having reasons to talk about it and see it manifest in other acts who clearly know what they're doing as well. And, well, I'm not saying I know it better than boygenius, but I'm more than happy to see the beauty in what they're doing and have some sort of translation to express. And the tension they established from the start, which is what they're doing each and every song. They're not, like I said, going verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. Here's a chorus, everybody. Here's a chorus, which is very cheap. It's very glittery, but I love it. I love that. I love that. You know me. I love a cheesy, horrible hook. I love an earworm melody. Don't matter how bad it is. If it gets glued in, I adore that. That's my style of songwriting. I like corny, cheesy, just don't bore us, get to the chorus, sing the hook, make it good, make it powerful. But this band takes you on a journey each and every track. This song encapsulates it the best so far. From A to B, and as we move from A, we build on the track. We build until we climax. And then we're on to the next track. It keeps you listening. It keeps you engaged. It keeps the story developing. She could say the same thing over and over, but the instrumental keeps the story growing. And I was flipping blue-balled. I was getting edged off by that drum beat, waiting for it to come off. And then it finally did. And I was gassed. That was good. That was really good. That was really good. Yeah, that was really good. That was a good showcase of understanding the psychological principle of writing a good song, at the very least. You know, I don't want to be technical. I just want to be here and say, I really like the song, but I see the mechanics of it as well as the actual audio experience. Salt in the Wound coming up next, yeah? Yes, now, bless now, people. Don't forget to rest now. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. Boygenius is the act. Track 5 of their debut EP is entitled Salt in the Wound. What more needs to be said? Shall we jump in? I think we should. Absolutely doused in reverb.
But you haven't decided about taking a leave in me. But you take and you take like silks up my sleeve, tied corner to corner, never ending, trick after trick. I make the magic, and you unrelentingly ask for the secret. Neck full of mockingbirds, all calling your name. Well, I tried to sing it all back like I heard it. It don't sound the same. I'm gnashing my teeth like a child of Cain.
Great screaming with the guitar work there.
If this is a prison, I'm willing to buy my own chain. But you take and you take like silks up my sleeve, tied corner to corner, never ending, trick after trick. I make the magic, and you unrelentingly ask for the secret. They say the hearts and minds are on your side. They say the finish line is in your sights. What they don't say is what's on the other side. They say the hearts and minds are on your side.
You may ask, you've had so much to say throughout this record. Why didn't you speak so much during this one? And I'll give you an answer. That was the best song on this EP so far. I doubt Catch My ID is going to beat it, but because just due to the, you know, just the recognition of patterns, I assume that is the best track on the record. I'd be ever so surprised if the next one beats it. They've got one chance to beat it. I don't think they will do. That was great. The development, the audacity when it builds, lyrical content was great. Guitar work was great. Bass line was great. Drumming was great. Powerful. Fantastic sound. Fantastic build. Fantastic harmonies. That was really good. That was really good. That was the best on this record, and I got gassed that Stay Down. The tension build up until the incorporation of the cymbals on Stay Down gassed me, but Sorting the Wound was very, very good. That was very good. Let's finish on with the last track of this EP, okay? There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. Finishing off this EP, Boygenius is whom we are listening to. It was recommended on Patreon by James. Thank you ever so much, James. What a great experience and what a great reason to finally check out this act whom I have seen referenced from time to time and now finally have the chance to do so, and now can engage with the fan base of individuals who are interested in this band. I can say I've listened to the EP. Let's talk about it. Ketchum ID, if not Ketchum id, if we were talking about the psychological pronunciation of ID, but maybe it might be a place in America. What does ID stand for? Idaho? Have we got a reference here? Who cares? Track 6 of 6, let's go. Little acoustic number to finish off, maybe. I would like to leave this city.
Back in the States now, in a college town, I would walk around, but it's really coming down, mesmerized by double lines, 2 yellow tight ropes, I'm making good time.
Says here, composer Christian Lee Hudson. Who's that? Is it a cover? Christian Lee Hudson. Idaho.
Everyone's around and I hear you smiling. You say I love you, I say you too. I am never anywhere I go.
Is it where Ash Ketchum got his name from? Idaho. Come on now. Come on now. What? No, where was the cadence? What? No. What? No, there has to be a cadence on the actual recording. This was uploaded by boygenius. No, there has to be a cadence to that. That was so imperfect. But let me give you game. Let me give you songwriting game, right? This is insider shit. And if they've done this on intention, there's knowledge. There's a deeper level of knowledge. Some songwriters will leave the end track imperfect because psychologically you feel, I've not finished. So where do you go from there? To heal that discomfort, you go to track number 1 and you start the process again. That's a deeper level that I haven't touched once on this, because we're getting into the sinister psychological manipulation of songwriting in the music industry. But given what we've discussed up until this point, that's crazy. I'll see you on the next video. I'm actually going to also do a listen through to the live stuff. If you're not on the Patreon, if you're watching this via YouTube, I won't be uploading it to YouTube because, you know, the platform whom is uploading this material is going to strike me for it. So I'll see you elsewhere, yeah? Link is in the description of this video. See you there. Yes, now bless now. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV. I'll try and make this one short and sweet because I've said essentially everything I need to say during the listen through this record. We've listened to boygenius, yes, an act that titled themselves after me, believe it or not, and that's to let the truth be told. Ask the members of this act, say, do you know about There's ROCKSTEADY? And they'll say, yeah, of course I flipping know about There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV. Ask them about it, honestly. So, we listened to the debut EP. It was recommended on the Patreon by my man James. Thank you very much, James. It's very much appreciated. I've heard of the act via the commentation of online forum activity. Have I ever gone into listening to the band? No. What did I think? If you're just joining me now on the review as opposed to the listen through, I'll just rephrase what I initially said. I associated this band or this entity or the energy or the branding with an act like Girl in Red, Beach Bunny, The Beths. Acts that are female fronted yet align with this indie pop outsider yet not so outside that you're just listening to fucking noise, like actual palatable, good written music. And I was surprised that it was more industrial. What do I mean by industrial? I mean this is less against the industry and more we are the industry. This is singer-songwriter music. This is singer-songwriter music. We are professional songwriters. We want to write for other songwriters or other artists if we're not already doing so. We are linked in. We are connected with the songwriting firm and situation that is the seed which the industry blooms. I'm not stupid. The profession, the maturity, the production and the artistic expression I've heard on this record is very plugged in. Is it artistic? Yes. Is it going to push the boundaries of edge? No. We're not here to do that. We're here to create a relatable, emotionally viable product. What do you mean product? I mean product more than ever on this. I mean product more than ever than this. This is a business effort. This is a business effort. And I'll go against anybody who wants to give me flack for that. No, it's art for art's sake, man. No. This is a business effort. These girls might come together and say, let's create a project, yeah. But when we're distributing it through the distributors we're distributing it through, when we're signed and we're putting it out via the label, we're putting it out through, when we as three separate entities are coming together to create this project, it's a business effort. Why do I highlight that? I highlight that because I listen to a lot of bands on this record where I don't identify songwriting for songwriting's sake. Do I say that to be, you know, contrary to the message that's been put out? No, I'm actually aiding and in support of this because I like songwriting. But I'm so artistically excited when it comes to the realm of songwriting and music business and the elements of garnering credit and monetizing that through my own personal education, that I find it ever so beautiful to pay attention to a project like this. Because on this channel, we're listening to bands that may as well be used and abused by the system, used and abused by the industry. But this is an act that can flip, turn, and subvert that and actually give power to the artist, which is a whole unfathomable amount of love I should express towards this. I love songwriters. I love songwriters. I love singer-songwriters. I love artists who create a project that succeeds and they garner the monetization, they garner the songwriting credits, they garner the royalties that come through the rights as to which they possess, given they haven't given it away to a guy in a suit who gives no shits about them and just wants to bum them. You can't say that. 6 tracks. Professional A to B writing. We've got no ABC writing. We've got no fluff writing. We start a song, we end the song, we go through a journey through the song, we go through a upwards inflection throughout the song. Compound interest, growing momentum as we reach the end. Through intensity, through development, through lyrical substance, we tell a story. Fantastic harmonies. Gorgeous harmonies, especially on that last song. Limited, minimal, yet fulfilling instrumentation. They are, or the producer knows what they're doing by filling the gap with the reverb, spacing it out. You know, covering the uncovered. I'm not a producer, so I won't talk about what's this and that, but the usage of reverb ensures you're listening to a more full-sounding product than what you may have been given it was a little drier, you know, due to the minimalism of the band. And singer-songwriter, the thing about singer-songwriter acts and songwriting acts is you can take the song and give them an acoustic guitar in the vocal line and it's still fantastic. That's essentially what we're getting. We're just getting a little bit of a build on that. You know, we're not coming in all guns blazing with a full rock band trying to disguise the fact that it's a shit song through the usage of making a racket, making a loud noise. This band doesn't need to do that because they write good songs. Such a great deal of conversation to be had over this, not just due to the fact that it's good music, but for a person like me, this is a great project to put forward. So let me say thank you to James for that. You know, highs and lows, nobody knows. I do like discussing things like this. If I was to rate it as a project, now I'm going to be funny here. As far as the channel is concerned, this is so much more mature through understanding and knowledge and portrayal of music than the majority, than 90% of the acts I listen to. But when we put this into the arena with general Spotify playlist, you know, funded by the labels, fed by the labels to promote acts, if we had to just bang this into a label playlist with the other writers and the other projects that come alongside this that are competitive with this, this wouldn't fare much, you know. When you've got flipping Billie Eilish Bad Guy in the same playlist, that's going to stand out. This doesn't stand out, you know, compared to your general songwriter music. So for your general arena and high tier that this band exists within, I'll give it a 5. As far as the actual quality of the music, and as far as the project, and as far as the consistency, I'll give it a 7. I'll leave that there. This isn't what I would choose to listen to in this day and age, but I appreciate the product, and I appreciate the magic behind this, and I appreciate the depth of investment. This wasn't put on record within a day. I'll tell you that for nothing. Now we're going to go and listen to some live stuff. So join me on Patreon if you want to join me on that. Peace. Yes, now blessed. Now there's ROCKSTEADY King of the Pit TV. This one is You're Still the One. It's a cover. Shania Twain. boygenius. We're going to finish on our listening to the boygenius debut EP with this one. It's devoted to James, so thank you very much, James, for this. James, I'm sure it'll make a difference to you, but we are going to be just having this on Patreon only, because last time I did something from the BBC broadcasting service, it was like they struck my channel with the lightning of Zeus, honestly, and it's like, well, you know, we won't go into the legalities of such, because what I'm doing is fair use from a copyright perspective, but you can't argue with the powers that be, right? So let's have a look. You're Still the One. It rings a bell. I should know this song, but I can't sing you the melody from the get-go. You're still the one. Da-da-da. Ooh. Da-da-da-da. That's the one, innit? I know I wasn't on key, but come on. You're still the one I want. Ooh. 1 year ago. Shit, I didn't got my headphones. Nice recording setup there. Nice little studio. Where was this? Shall we see where this was? I don't know what studio this was in. We got one where I'm based.
Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. Might have took
Is she playing a mandolin?
a long way.
It sounds like a bass, obviously, but
We need it.
it's very short form.
Look how far we've come, my baby.
Is that a... what? Where's the bass coming from? That looks like a flipping mandolin.
Might have took the long way. We knew we'd get there someday. They said, I bet they'll never make.
No, where's the bass coming from? I need to know. Is this a post-production thing? Where's the bass? Why is my bird on the flipping right-hand side? Why is she not playing the bass? Where's the bass?
Make it, but just look at us
Is the bass coming from the low-frequency open E string on that guitar?
holding on. Still together,
It must be, but that's deep.
still going strong. Still
Beautiful harmony.
the one I run to, the one that I'll be alone.
They've come dressed in the same way. Do you know these patches? I want some. I got a couple of suit jackets, right? Black suit jackets. The other woman, I want some roses like her down the back of it. You know. Don't take that. That's my trademark, right?
Still the one I
They're all wearing the same jackets. Are they plugging something here?
You're still the one that I love, the only
She looks like Elle Brooke.
one I dream of. You're still the one I kiss goodnight.
Very good singers. Very good singers.
Ain't nothing better. We beat the odds together. I'm glad we did.
Pay attention. Pay attention. Listen to that. 3 nights in a row. 3 nights in a row, I had some dude screaming outside the window. Screaming. Let's pay attention to that line.
We beat the odds together. Ain't nothing better.
Ain't nothing better. We beat the odds together.
We beat the odds together.
To me, that's a beautiful line. I know I can't give credit to boygenius for that, but give credit to boygenius for highlighting that line for me. Ain't nothing better. We beat the odds together. What a beautiful line. That is poetry in motion. That's amazing.
Glad we didn't listen.
Not even emotion, it's quite simply poetry.
Would be missing. They said, I bet they'll never make it. But just look at us holding on. Still together, still going strong. You're still the one I run to. The one.
Controversial opinion. These lot do the whole the whole breathy thing. This lady who comes in with the direct approach, that's quality. I think the middle girl as well came in with a direct, just like little word or two to accompany highlighting something earlier in the track. That direct approach to me is just more pleasant, you know, as opposed to the, you know, which has always been a thing. But, you know, that direct approach is, there's no blanket. You have to be right. You have to sound good. And she sounds good. It's funny, we were gassing about Youngblood. We got a Loner by Youngblood guitar tutorial there in the right hand side. Gassed. SMH. Thing is, it says Shania Twain cover. Did Shania Twain write the song? Shall we find out? One moment. So it's produced, as well as getting a co-credit on the writing from a guy called Mutt Lange. There we go. Who knows? Who knows? I always like to check the writing credits when it comes to songwriters, because I'm so pessimistic. You just realise that these great artists you've loved all your life didn't write a single song. You know what I mean? If you're interested in songwriting, check out the guy, Max Martin, alright? For all you Taylor Swift fans and so forth. Look at Max Martin and see what he has produced and what he has co-writing credits for. You'll be blown away. Max Martin. It's not his real name, but that's what he goes by, alright? It's a pseudonym. You tell me why.
So glad we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby.
Beautiful. What a cover, eh? What a cover. I'll tell you once, and I probably won't tell you no more, but when it comes to covers like this, I think they're riding on the coattails of one act. There's a band called Royal Otis, and they covered Murder on the Dance Floor, when it sort of became a thing again, it got revitalized by being on the soundtrack of a movie called Saltburn over here in England. I mean, it's wherever it wants to be, but in England it was a thing. I can tell you that firsthand. And they covered the song that was the focal point in the highlight in the climax of the movie, and that was Murder on the Dance Floor, which is a great song, Sophie Ellis-Bextor, and they did a fantastic cover, really, really good cover. And I think, you know, it sort of highlighted to these acts, well, we can just do a cover and get it on the mainstream and, you know, utilize that to drive our streams to the roof and back. That's what I think. Let's call it a day. I'll see you on the flip side. Peace, people. Goodbye.